And now it's time for week 3 of the mystery tool bag giveaways. Every week for the month of June, we're giving away a tool bag that has some mystery tools in it to a lucky winner who is in the chat at the time of the drawing. So the rules are very simple. All you need to do is be in the sidebar chat to enter. And as you log in and say something, we'll mark down your name and keep it on a slip of paper. And then at 10:15 p.m. Central Time, we're going to choose a winner. You just have 60 seconds rather, to let us know that you're still in the chat if your name is chosen. And then we will ship the prize anywhere in the 48 United States of America that don't include Hawaii and Alaska. So with that said, let me introduce you to this week's panelists plus our special guests. First, all the way over from the West Coast comes Power Stroke Jude.
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing today? West Coast is the best coast.
It'd be nice if we could see him.
Am I not
And
on?
also, no, we can see you.
Oh, okay.
This I can see you.
Everyone, I hope you guys are ready for some fun tonight.
It's going to be a doozy. And also joining us from Austin, Texas, after putting on a long, sweaty day at work in the shop, he still somehow mustered the energy to join us tonight. Cass Nichols from Speed Wrench.
I'm looking forward to having a wheelie good time with you all tonight.
Oh. And our very special guest joins us all the way from the beautiful, some call it the gem of the United States, New Jersey, from Mid-Atlantic Tools. Here's Mark.
How y'all doing?
I thought they called New Jersey the smoking section of America.
Has been the first time since I've been called special, so thanks.
All right, so we're just going to have some general conversation every 15 minutes. I'll update everyone on the rules of tonight's giveaway, just in case you joined us and didn't see what the rules are before. I already see in the chat some new names of folks who have not been able to make it the last couple of weeks, but who just joined in.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
I missed the chat.
We've got a long list already, and we just kicked this off. So
wow.
Cass will be our scribe, keeping the names of everyone who's joining the chat. So he's got his work cut out for him. Good for everyone for joining in. So far, we got 21 people, including Sergio, Christian, Raging Cajun Garage, East Coast Ken, who was our first week's winner, Bocce's Blankets and More, JWC Tech, AG, Joe Mama's here, Chris Hodges is here, Don Gilliam's back, Dad's Speed and Custom is here, Sammy's 821. Good to see you, Sammy. Glad you made it this week. I know we talked about it the last couple of weeks.
Good to see you, man.
Jake Chef is here. Larry
I sound right on Eek's name.
I might be confused, but I think you told me Sammy was he watched both our channels, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, I think we talked about that the other day. What's up, Sammy?
Who else has joined us so far?
Larry B,
Chris Chambers, Mark Worth is here.
I'm going to enter myself in this drawing as well. I'll comment.
Brandon from BS Small Engines. This is a great crowd so far. We just got kicked off. So
filling up quick.
It is.
Get
so
waiting.
I love it. All right. So as everyone logs into the chat, Castle, keep your name jotted down. We'll review the names as we go to make sure everybody who's here has been accounted for. In the meantime, let's start the conversation with Mark from Mid-Atlantic Tools, who also has a pretty cool channel on YouTube. Check him out because he just came back from a national tool show in Florida, where one of our biggest distributors, a company called ISN, has had their annual show. So, Mark, why don't you start off by telling us what was cool at the show, what you found, what you came back with, what you're going to order? What was your general take?
It was good. All right, guys, take it easy.
Oh man.
No, there were some. It actually was a pretty good show. I liked. I was course, the Milwaukee booth. There's some. They're coming out with some new stuff, and they always have something going on. I think one of the neatest things actually I liked was their heater that they're coming out with. Their propane heater. It's battery powered, so it just runs the fan in the igniter, and then you hook up your propane bottle to it. So that will be. I already had a couple of my customers ask because they want it for camping than anything when they go camping. So that was a pretty neat. Topped on they have a lot of scan tools that they're coming out with, and they're very reasonable priced. So that was another good booth to be at, and the Vim booth was very larger than probably previous years. So
Vim seems to be blowing up.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. They're coming out with some nice stuff.
Did you see anything about their new pass-through ratchets that they just announced?
Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Yes. Tune in on Sunday morning to see the rest.
Outstanding.
Teaser.
Now I'm interested because I know we got an email. The dealers got an email from ISN about those that we could pre-order them. They're pass-through ratchets. They come with a set of sockets, and they have an extended reach, right? And
Yes.
they operate at 60 foot-pounds of torque, which really surprised me for a long reach ratchet.
It's if you do not own an extended ratchet, that's the one to buy. And the reason why, and I'll give away part of my video, is it comes with anvils.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Very nice.
So you can make it a 1/4 inch, or you can make it a 3/8.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. I haven't seen that since I think Makita tried that or did that a while back.
Well, Gear Wrench they have them, not cordless or anything, but they have pass-through stuff. And I'm sure there's several other companies out there that did the same thing. But
it's pretty cool.
I really, people, I'm not going to say who or what or where, but, I watch a lot of videos, and some people talk before they know the flavor of the Kool-Aid.
I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'll do my research. I'll stop flipping through pages and say, "Welcome to the Home Depot channel."
No, but I think it's good. I think it could be a good tool. I mean, I really do. I think it could be a good
it might
tool.
be.
Especially if you don't already own an extended reach ratchet, it's really good.
Well, I mean,
you can save money by just buying one ratchet.
Right. But I remember a conversation we had a few weeks ago, Mark, about the extended reach ratchets in general, and we were talking about how well they're selling for both of us, and it's interesting now they came up with another version of a long reach ratchet because it's tough to sell the new ones if people already bought into the previous models.
Yes.
So I think your point's a very good one, that if you do not already own one, you may wish to make the pass-through one the first one you buy. Because in general, I'd like to hear, the perspective, especially from Cass and Jude and any of the technicians that are in the chat. Is there a distinct advantage to using a pass-through ratchet over something like this, a ratcheting wrench? Now, granted, with something like this where it's got some power to it, yes, I see there's a distinct benefit, but there's always been like the manual drive pass-through ratchets from Gear Wrench and some other companies that never really caught on as much as I thought they would. So I'd be interested to hear people's opinions on the efficiency and efficacy of using that style ratchet.
So I'll have to go back into the Wayback Time Machine here, but Matco had the Matco Special Forces was a
yes, they did.
pass-through ratchet, and that was a big deal back in the 90s. So for you youngsters out there was this time called the 90s when we were still free from oppression and we could buy whatever we wanted. But now we're all hooked on the YouTube crack. I'm kidding. All right. Anyways, now there's a benefit to it, but
if you really think about what a pass-through ratchet is, I mean, it's a socket that has no bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if because they were comparing it out there, the lengths and stuff like that, and they were saying how, I watched other videos and they were saying, well, if you put just a nano socket or a smaller socket on there, you got the same thing. Well, technically you don't, because you got to bottom out. If you have a little bit of a stud, it's not going to work. So a pass-through ratchet is actually, it's like having a low profile socket that doesn't know that it's actually a deep socket.
I've got a pass-through ratchet, not electric. It's just a hand one, but and the socket said it's made by Crescent. And when I use it the most is like dropping a fuel tank. When you have those little straps with the long bolts, you can just go right up and it's gravy right there. That's when I find the most benefit in those.
Yes.
I mean, like the Milwaukee pass-through ratchet's only about 20 years too late. Like where was this when I was adjusting parking brake cables all the time? Now everything's like fire and forget when it comes to parking brake. I'm kidding. I'm still gonna buy one. I am. Lindsay's like
I said, if you don't already have the other ones, I mean, it's definitely a good purchase if you don't have them.
Yeah.
And then if you do have them, I take trade-ins.
Tarek says he uses his gear wrench pass through quite a bit.
Let me go back and let's get caught up on the chat for a sec here. And let me go. Let's get caught up with some chat comments that are pertinent to what we're discussing here. JWC Tech says that many companies tried and failed with that design, but Milwaukee will sell them well because design, torque, and the fact that it comes with anvils and sockets. I think that if anyone has an advantage here, it's Milwaukee because of that. And the one thing that has impressed me over time with Milwaukee is their attention to detail. I still think that there's some, like Cass and I were just talking about it today, as a matter of fact. We were doing a comparison with Snap-on's half-inch impact and the Milwaukee half-inch one. And, I can see that there's some advantages to the Snap-on one. There's some attention to detail that I think Milwaukee still needs to do. But by and large, when you see a newly engineered tool from Milwaukee, they seem to have covered a lot of the bases and added some value in areas that other tools have skipped.
They didn't have it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the Special Forces one that never had any anvils; it was just sockets.
Right. Yeah, Tarek says he uses this quite a bit. Kevin Avery says he doesn't use his at all. So it's really preferential. And then Joe Mama says it's like cutting hairs. I don't see the time and try to save when you're already flying. Yeah, granted. I mean, I think something like this is going to be highly preferential, or it's something that people simply want to own because it's new, and some guys just simply like buying something that's new on the market and then seeing how well it performs. Yeah, Sergio thinks that'll be a good all-around use. Sure. Yeah, and Sammy says he also has the gear wrench set but doesn't use it very much. That doesn't surprise me. I think that with that set, I certainly see that there's not a distinct advantage. But with something like this from Milwaukee, I think there's going to be. So, I've pre-ordered some and waiting for them to arrive. And did they give a ship date on those at all, Mark?
Yeah, they probably did, but I don't remember what it is.
No.
Coming soon.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. Well, like those pass-through ratchets that Gear Wrench actually sell, I don't sell many of those at all. I mean, all the years I've been in business, a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not because most people know. I mean, that set can only be used as with those sockets because there's no anvils, so it can only be used that way.
Right.
So
that's one thing that was cool about the Crescent one that I have. It came with a 3/8 anvil.
That makes it nice because then you can use all your sockets that you have.
Yeah.
Right. And AG asked a good question. Can it be used as a power screwdriver? Sure. Would you put the square drive adapter on there, just put a screwdriver socket on, and away you go.
Absolutely.
And to add to that, it might come, and I'm not 100% sure, but it might come with a holder to hold bits.
Well, that would be really interesting.
Because I was watching some videos, and I didn't even notice when I was there But I think when I was watching some videos that people shot, there's a lot of TikTok videos and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, I saw it in the rack. So of the socks you get.
Well, that's it. Well, that gives us something to look forward to then, because we still have some
quote
questions.
me on that. Don't quote me on that. They come in.
And East Coast Ken says there's no real use for pass-throughs on the body side of the house. Most of the time, he uses quarter drive deep sockets to reach over body panels or into doors. Yeah, I think that we're going to find that my guess is going to be that there's a more specialized market to these, or if you're going to make a decision,
deep sockets. I mean, he might run into a time where the pass-through is perfect if he's always using deep sockets. I mean, he knows way more than I would, but I'm just saying because there's always that. Hey, Anthony's here. What's up, Anthony? And Cam, what's up, both you guys?
Anthony, I wrote your name down as Tony from HR.
Tony
Shannon,
from HR.
Shannon Dickinson's here.
David. Yeah, I got a question for you guys. It's a silly question, but it's just a funny question, I think. For both Lindsay and Mark. How many people think that grip edge? You guys both carry grip edge on your truck?
I do.
I haven't put them on the truck yet.
Oh, okay. Well, so Mark, how many people confuse that with Vim? I mean, they look real similar, don't they?
Yeah, they
the
do.
Packaging.
Nobody.
No. To me, it always like, man. At first, when I saw it, I always think
it's
Vim
just the coloring. It's just the color. They're black and green, and the Vim uses black and green, but they're very well marked and labeled. It's
Do you guys carry that demonstration?
It's not Vim in the brown box,
hexagon or octagon or whatever it is on your truck to show how they work? Do people like that?
Yes. I had all the little demo tools and stuff like that, and it's a neat tool. It really is. It costs some money. I mean, like the sockets are a lot. The socket ones are, bolt biters are cheaper than the grip edge.
And bolt biters work really well too. So,
and bolt biters work very well. And like it's nothing new. It's not new. It's just another company coming out with their version of it. And like I tell everybody, you buy what you want. If you want grip edge, you buy the grip edge. If you want bolt biters from Gear Edge, you buy them.
I probably got to update my set, but I've got an old Irwin set with the extraction sockets.
This is a good moment to take a quick break from the conversation and update everybody on the rules for the drawing as more people filter in. We're doing a giveaway for every Friday in the month of June, and today is week 3, where we're giving away a very nice nylon tool tote with a variety of tools in it. And the winner will be chosen from everyone who's in the chat currently, and Cass is diligently writing all your names down as you log in. And when we do the drawing at 10:15 p.m. Central Time, the winner will have 60 seconds to give us the high sign that he or she is still in the chat. And if you don't give us the high sign within 60 seconds, then we'll draw again until we do have a winner who claims the prize. And then all you have to do once your name is chosen is to contact me by email at lindsay@coiltools.com with your contact and shipping information. And in a few weeks, we're going to ship out the bag to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous United States. We're still waiting for some sponsored and donated items to come in, so there might be a few weeks yet until we ship them out. But once we do get everything in that we're expecting, then we'll ship it to you, and you enjoy your nice free prize. So that's pretty much it for the rules. Tonight we are joined by Power Stroke Jude from California, Cass at Speed Wrench, and our special guest answering all of our tool-related questions is Mark from Mid-Atlantic Tools, all the way from New Jersey. So Again, welcome to everyone. Glad everyone's in the chat. It's a good conversation so far. And people still filtering in, so it's good to see a good crowd here. So thanks everyone for joining us. Appreciate it. Stick around for the conversation. Ask questions. Get involved in what's going on, and stick around another 55 minutes for the drawing.
About 9:45, I'm gonna start reading off names. So listen for your name. If you don't hear it, let me know, and we'll put you in the bucket of doom. And I'll pull a name.
It's a nice testament to the popularity of the giveaways. We started out with a little wheelie ball, moved to a hat, and now we're up to a bucket to accommodate
That's
all
just
the
because
names.
we're just, yeah. I mean, like last week, I almost ran out of fingers to write with.
Did you restock your Post-it notes?
Yeah, I got like 200 of them sitting in front of me right now.
Recycle.
No, because I'm gonna send the names of everybody in each gift bag or each grab bag, so you can see your name amongst the rest of them. Because I don't want to keep them and throwing them away would be too easy. So.
And Lindsay, for this week, I was thinking of what to throw into one of those grab bags. So before I jumped on, I was watching your last flyer video that ends in June.
Mm-hmm.
You've got I think K-Tool makes it, and it's an adapter that goes from 3/4 to 1/2 inch, a reducer. I think it's around $20 or something like that.
Yeah. The impact grade one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and PayPal me for that one.
Will do.
I hope
Thank
someone.
you very much.
I hope someone who only uses 1/4 inch tools wins.
It'll force an upgrade.
I know just the bag to throw that in, Jude.
Perfect.
Oh man.
Well, thank you, Tarek. He says I'll send an email. He told the POS cast he got some stuff to contribute. I understand you've been slammed, your pimp slapped you, you have a couple of days off because you have bruised fruit. Well, when you're in the business you're in, it's all about presentation.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the winner tonight is subscribed to my channel, I'll send a bonus.
Well, how's about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, if our friend Boo Luquette was here, you know what he would be saying right now. Bonus.
Raging, unfortunately, is not a snap-on bucket. It's just a bucket. It's in green. It's not Power Stroke Jude green, but it's like a mixture between puke green and Power Stroke Jude green. So we're
it's a mixture of puke and baby crap, baby poop.
Yeah, or like goose shit. It's like goose shit's a green color.
Wise ass clip says that the grand prize is a 10mm socket. Yeah, and the joke's on the winner. As soon as they get it, they'll lose it. So,
it's not in the box.
One of the prizes was one of those 10mm sets, but you're just going to get a rail with all pegs.
Christian, you're
how'd
in
you
the
like
raffle.
that 10mm set?
Yeah. Christian, you're in the raffle.
It's going to be a metal rail too, man. Nothing fancy. One of them old craft.
Oh, I got a shit ton of those. If we want to throw metal rails in there, I'm looking to unload.
Yeah, I still every time I help someone out, man. Like if I'm trying to, give someone some stuff that I've got and putting together a little kit for him or something like that, I throw it on metal rails. Give him a few things here and there.
I don't know. I don't know who's using this as a bedpan, but this thing right here would be full either way. If I was gonna throw up into it, also it'd be like, I know that I'm not gonna tell that story because this is the channel for that. But anyways, I digress. As we move forward.
All right, back to some questions from Mark. Whoever got them in the chat, shout them out. If anyone on the panel's got them, but I got one for you, Mark. When you're looking at products, I know Top Don is a new product line for ISN to be carrying. I've read and heard a lot of good things about their products, but have yet to see any in real life. Did you have a chance to check anything out? And if so, are you going to be getting anything in your inventory?
I did the one that I ordered the most of it's the entry level bi-directional tool.
Oh,
So it should be under $1,000 easy.
really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it has bi-directional in it. I can't think of the name of it. I'm drawing a blank, and I was just watching a video on it too.
I'm searching for it right now.
Yeah.
I just heard all about that because I told you I was watching that last video you did, in the first few minutes of it was all about the Top Don, Lindsay. So that was fresh. I was breezing through because I wasn't going to donate to Top Don.
Yeah, but that was the one I ordered the most of. I ordered a scanner, your basic scanners, guys like, just the read clear codes and stuff like that. And then there's that one's Bluetooth. Now this one that's bi-directional, has bi-directional in it. That one's a cabled. It's not Bluetooth.
Okay.
But they will be coming out with a Bluetooth one. But again, it keeps the price down when it's not Bluetooth. But it will not have any type of programming. So you wouldn't be able to program something like a Windows switch or whatever it needs programming.
Fuel injectors on a Power Stroke. On a 6.7? Well, because
the 6.7, you got to be, you have to put the.
And it also comes with 2 year free update, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
My buddy bought it's not a Top Don, but it's the Autel MX808.
Oh, yeah.
And we're finding that thing does more and more and more than you think. I mean, that thing is, for being as cheap as it is.
Which one is that? The 808?
Yeah, the 808.
Yes.
That thing, and it updates itself. We I forget what we were working on, but he plugged it into and he said it didn't support whatever vehicle it was. And then he came back and he said, "Hey, come look at something." And I went over, I looked at it, and he had his thing charged, and it said there was an update, and it was updating for that vehicle or and we plugged it back in, and it was able to get codes, do some bi-directional stuff. I mean, that thing is a pretty intuitive little tool.
Mm-hmm.
It has a surprising amount of capability, and I think one of the nicest things that Autel does, and I'm not familiar with Top Don to do a comparison, but I like how consistent the interface is across all their units and their products, so that if you're used to one product that they have, you can adapt pretty quickly to a new one because of how they lay it out and where all their icons are. So I do like the fact that even if all you know is the 808, for example, and you want to upgrade to a scanner, then it's not that big a leap for your learning curve to make the switch.
Yep. Yes, JWC Tech. He just answered what the brand is, the model Artie Dog.
Okay, let me look that one up.
Like that.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, these next few Fridays, I mean, I'm glad to be part of it. I really appreciate you having me on and letting me join for the first, half hour or so. But I do have basketball practice, so I'm going to have to dip out, you guys. Good luck to whoever wins, and I'll see you guys all next week.
Well, thanks for joining, Jude. Appreciate it.
Dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Great night, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
And Pat CB just joined us. Hello, Pat. All right, now that Diag one is this unit here.
Yes, the 800. That is your basic scanner.
Okay.
That's a code reader. Some resets. Oil changes and brakes. And that's Bluetooth. It would be in the next grouping of tools, I guess you would call it, above a reader.
This is a good, clean, easy to read display.
Mhm.
That looks nice.
They were all really easy to read, really
Yeah.
nice. They're gonna, if they keep doing what they're doing, they're gonna be a good scan tool, I think.
Good. It's great to have choices. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a, you know, as much as I like Autel and I am a fan, I think it's great to bring in something that might compete head to head with them, give people a choice on price, or I'm just comparing prices right now. They're fairly close with the 808.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the top down's a little bit less money, as a matter of fact. So, you know, you don't have to spend a ton of money. And by comparison, here's a Autel 808.
I think the 808 might have a little bit bigger screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the choices.
Yep.
And one of the things that really sells scan tools of any kind is once people lay their hands on it and can start to use it. And it's always a risk for guys like us in the business of selling them. You're not going to sell them just by telling people about it. They've got to put one in their hand. So if you can afford to buy yourself a demo unit that you lend out, you know, that does a lot for these sales. And that's the one thing that's going to convince people or not. And that's fair. I mean, if they try and say, no, I don't like it, great. Because now they just learn something that save themselves a lot of money.
You know, and having more than one type of scan tool brand is not a bad thing.
Not at all. Not at all. Especially if it's the same kind of price range, the same family, then you can really compare functionality between units. What's the cost of maintenance and upkeep like? What are their recurring costs with subscriptions and all? And it gives you an easier comparison that way. All right, who else jumped in? Pat Paulson's here. Stay fresh, cheese bag. Bam.
Thanks a lot, Tater Tot. You go, don't let your meat loaf.
That's just good advice. Yeah, and Shannon says my son has an 808 and likes it. It's a very likable unit. And Sammy says he has that scanner also. It's been a great tool. And JWC Tech says that, they were made to compete with the 808. Absolutely. You can just see the comparison is right there. I'd love to see the two of them side by side from a good technician to see, you know, what they think of it in using a real world scenario.
Sergio, that is an excellent question. And
what's that?
I don't know how much of this question Lindsay can answer right now.
Given that you guys are independent tool truck operators, do you think it would be viable to open a brick and mortar / online store? I have my thoughts. Mark, what are yours?
If I want to work that hard.
All right. It is. I mean,
it could, could I? Yeah. I mean, it's not really a big, you see a lot of guys do it. To me, it's not really a big jump to do. It's just, do I want to do that? Or, you know, am I happy where I'm at? You know, online stores are open 24 hours. So you get up in the morning and then you got to download everything that came through.
Yep.
And start, you know, I don't know.
People have asked me, you know, over the last, you know, regularly they ask me if I have an online store. Usually it's my YouTube viewers.
Yep. I get that question all the time. Can you send
me
stuff?
And I'd like to open up a store. The challenges with that are an online store is still a store. Just because it's online doesn't mean it's less work than a brick and mortar. And I think it's easy to perceive it that way, but it's not, because you still have to either maintain an inventory, warehouse it yourself somewhere, or drop ship stuff from your suppliers, which isn't difficult. But now, how do I tie in my online catalog to what my drop ship suppliers have available,
Mhm.
and how does that work? And so there's a lot of back end design work that has to go into that. Or you can just say, well, I'm just going to sell stuff I warehouse myself. Well, okay, but I'm not going to warehouse that much.
Yeah.
And
What
if I got to build a
I
store,
mean,
that,
if you we'll just Milwaukee a 1/2-inch impact gun.
Yeah.
All right. So you stock 40 of them. But it has to be live updating as people are buying. So when it gets to 0, you don't owe nobody nothing.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
yeah, tracking your inventory is a whole thing. And
Yeah.
when someone places an order, okay, well, who's going to pick it? I am. Who's going to
I
pack
am.
it? I am. Who's gonna print a label and ship it? And I am. And that costs money, not just to print a shipping label. Believe it or not, it costs money to have UPS or FedEx come to my place and take the packages from me. There's an extra charge to that. So now shipping charges go up because not only do I have to pay for the label, I got to pay for the service to pick it up.
Yeah.
So and people on who operate other online stores that operate discount stores are offering free shipping on stuff at lower prices. So how do I effectively compete with those guys?
Yeah, they're doing that. They're drop shipping from their suppliers.
Yes,
and they're making deals with their suppliers, which it's just getting everything in order to do.
correct. And in fact, what JWC Tech says, if you have the money and enough help, online stores where it's at, but it's very hard to give good customer service doing all 3 store, truck, online without good, honest workers. Yes, that is very difficult. But here's what I think is going to be one of a difficult aspect to this that is often overlooked. And that is, if all I'm going to do is be an intermediary between my customer and my drop shipper, I have lost control over the entire process, right? Because I can't control the condition of anything gets shipped. I am out of the loop if it comes in damaged. That's now up to the customer to have to reconcile that. What if the shipment gets lost? What if it just gets, then all I am is.
And then you have the ones that, I never got it.
Right. Yeah. And now what do you do? Right now you got to file a claim with UPS or FedEx or whoever is handling the shipping. And, now that takes your time and focus away from everything else just to focus on that.
Yeah.
It's going to sound weird when I say it, but hear me out. I'm now concentrating a lot of time and effort on resolving one issue with one customer, taking me away from all the other issues and customers that I need to be working with, and who don't have the same issues because they're not purchasing that way. See what I mean? So I don't want it to seem like I don't want to give it the personal attention that it deserves. The problem is the personal attention it deserves is significantly more attention than what everybody else is getting. So now, and let's be honest, we're not going to be selling AC machines and scanners online. So, we're shipping, $100, $200 orders online. Okay. But we're not making nearly as much money on an online sale as we are for selling off the truck, because we're going to have to come way down on our prices to make it worth it for people. And we're going to have to put more time and attention into managing that effort to make a lot less money. So there's not a good value proposition there for us as retailers. I hope that answers
sense.
your questions. And
it
if
makes perfect good sense. And when it comes to, again, there's that balance of work and life.
Exactly.
And I'm happy with having my truck. Could I have more? Yeah, I could have more, but I'm happy with the balance that I have.
Sure.
I didn't work today.
Right. I mean, there's, and Jake Sheff says, on another Sergio, that JD Co does pretty well doing that sort of thing. He does.
He does.
Here's the difference. Like Nick, who owns JD Co, Nick Morello and his son are the 2 guys who work that business. And Nick is pretty much managing the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty much doing the truck, and his son is pretty much holding everything down at the store. So his son puts a lot of time and attention into marketing, online sales, fulfilling orders, while Nick's off doing some other stuff. Yeah. And you have to have at least 2 guys doing that.
And they got more guys now too.
Exactly.
They got more guys. And if you notice, Nick's not in the truck as much.
Right. He's only what, 3 days a week, I think. So because it requires that much time and attention.
Yeah.
And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a question.
Wrong with it.
No, to your point, Mark.
It's just
you want to
he was a tool truck guy, and now he's just going towards the online thing.
Yeah, and the way
he's just shifting his business.
Correct. And the way Nick buys a lot of his stuff, he buys in large quantity
Mm-hmm.
from overseas suppliers. So, he's hitting order minimums that Mark and I couldn't possibly touch. So as a result, he's paying a lot less per unit than the stuff that we buy here stateside. So, when he gets it in, he has saved a lot of money per unit, but he's putting a bigger purchase together to buy just one item, say. So he's going heavy into certain items.
And there's items actually that he sells that I can compete with.
Yeah.
There is. Because I do technically it's funny because not just Nick, but any of the guys that sell online, they hey, I got this in stock, I got that, and they're showing the stuff, and of course my customers all see it. Then they come to me and they say, hey, can I have this for this much? And I said, sure. Open up your wallet, because that's how it's going to get paid. It's going to be paid in full, and most of the time, actually, it's a good majority of the time, I'm still making something.
Right.
And I don't have to do anything but hand it to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, if you're only making, let's just say you're only making, we'll go on the real low side of 10%. Okay. If you're only making 10%, but you're not doing no work and you sell 100 of them, you're doing good.
Right.
You're selling volume.
Exactly. And like AG says, your product is customer service. That's what your customers buy. No truer words can be spoken in this business, especially if you're, just one guy with one truck. You trade on the quality of your service and your knowledge. And, it's funny, I think. It's not funny. It's fun, I think, to explain this to new technicians who are just getting into the field, who maybe don't have any tool truck experience before, or maybe they've heard stories from guys in the shop about tool trucks, so they know about them, to actually get them on the truck and talk to them about why the pricing is what it is, and why the selection is what it is, and what my hope is for them in finding value for that. And that's always what it comes down to, because invariably they'll all say, well, I can buy it for less on Amazon. Yeah, and you can. And I tell that to everyone. You can buy everything I sell in my truck for less somewhere else, but you cannot get the quality of service that I give. So if that's worth something to you, and maybe it's not, maybe like I'm fine to stick it with my discount online retailers, that's fair, right? But if you need a higher level of service, then it's time to look for other buying options, and the tool truck should give you your highest level of service from all your buying options.
Yeah.
Yeah, JWC Tech says good help's the hardest part. That's there is no doubt about it. Like, I know what my capabilities are. Mark, you know your limits. I know my limits. There's only so much that you want to do because you have a life outside of the business. If you got a family, you have other interests and hobbies and things you want to do. You just need to step away, for some hours of the day. Yeah, and Travel Diva too says you have to have a good plan. There is, I think, a lot of times an overlooked aspect of any business. You got to put together a solid plan. You have to think about all the things that you're.
How many times have you seen a guy in the shop? I'm opening my own shop, and he leaves, opens his own shop, and 3 months later he's out of business because he had no working capital, he had no plan.
Yep.
He just saw the boss making a bunch of money and thinking that it's easy.
Yes,
and he didn't realize the boss is sitting there till 10 o'clock at night, trying to figure out where all the money's going.
Yeah, and usually what is the biggest splash of cold water in the face of any business owner is realizing all the unfun parts to owning and operating a business. It's what you do for a business is the tip of the iceberg. It's all the stuff below that you don't see that keeps a business operating, like keeping your books, managing your inventory, placing your orders, managing your vendor relationships, finding new suppliers, resolving problems with the IRS and tax time and your accountant and, with UPS, and all these things just take time. And that's all the stuff that takes you away from doing the one part that you see, the public facing part. It's all the stuff behind the scenes. And if you don't plan for that, you're going to be sorely disappointed because it's not going to be what you thought it was. All right. Well, it's 9:45. And Cass, if you want to start running through some names.
All right. We'll start with the first name. After I say these names, I'm folding them up and throwing them in the bucket. I'm not holding on to them anymore. We're going to go ahead and read them one at a time. Whoa. Get some shout outs here. Oh, this is horrible. You can see. It says BS Small Engines. That's Brandon. We'll fold Brandon up here, and I'm going to drop you in the bucket. You don't have to make me beg here for this one, Lindsay. I can just chime in while while y'all are chatting.
Sure.
Yeah, T. Simeon. Hey, I gotta fix this. This is not acceptable here.
There you go.
All right. Oh, I see a new name in there. Stephen Tincher.
Welcome, Stephen. Good to see you.
If I misspell your name,
about a
forgive me.
broken. I saw something about a broken screwdriver, snap-on screwdriver.
Mm-hmm. I just
Who said that? Good customer service when you have it. Yeah, there it is.
yeah, Sammy just handed me a broken snap-on screwdriver the other night. I taped the tip back on for him in hopes that he gets some additional use out of it. But strangely, no, that's not good enough for him. Now I got to get him a new one. No problem, because Snap-on's very good with assisting with their warranty.
Worth.
So anyone, a dealer, or you don't want to dealer, whatever it is, you can call Snap-on directly. You can say, hey, I got this broken tool. You give them a part number. They set up a return authorization. You send them the broken tool, they'll send you a new one. Done.
Yep.
They're very easy to work
Chambers.
with. So part of the service that I offer is, you want a hand with it? I'll give you a hand with it. It's something I can do that I know, the tool guys aren't either willing to do or don't know they can do. So I don't mind helping out. It takes it off his plate. It's one phone call for me. It's easy.
All right. Any other questions?
Well, Jake says that
Jake Chef.
Jake Chef says likes to see how professional tool sales like we do it. I'm happy to share all the business side stuff with people. I just don't know how interesting it is to a lot of people. So sometimes people aren't too keen on hearing
Sam
it.
is 821.
I think it's really interesting to know how the business actually works. It's part of what I enjoy getting to know about, say, shop owners and other guys that own businesses too. I like to know what kinds of things they're up against and what do they have to work through. And it's always a fun conversation.
Speed and custom.
Like Cass is a shop owner, and Mark owns his own gig, and I'm good friends with a guy who owns a rather successful shop a few miles down the road from Cass. So whenever we have the chance to discuss business stuff, my ears perk right up because I love having those conversations.
I was surprised how many people came up to me at Expo and said, hey, I saw your YouTube video.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Consider I only have like 1,200 people.
That's really neat. It just shows that the audience is.
Yeah. I was like, really? I think one actually happened to 3 people approached me. But the best one was there was a kid that came up to me with his dad. And he said he wanted to meet somebody who was on YouTube.
Wow, done and done. Excellent.
Yeah. So my 15 minutes of fame, but that was it.
You have to sign the autographs or anything?
I didn't sign anything. I should have.
Kevin.
Yeah, and Dad's Speed and Custom says he had a Mac dealer that was better at getting Snap-on taken care of than his Snap-on guy. Some guys who handle warranty claims look upon it as a liability because it costs them time and it costs them money.
Yeah.
And I understand that perspective because we all have it. None of us make money handling warranties, and it costs us money to ship it, costs us time to process it. So yes, there is a liability there. However, doing it well earns you a lot more business than not doing it would. So I'd much rather do it and take the hit for my time and my shipping costs than telling people, no, I can't do that.
Eurasian Cajun Garage.
And risk pushing a lot of business away. So, I mean, to me, it's worth it to do it.
Got a new guy, Eric T. Hello, Eric.
Hey, last
Christian.
week's winner, Eric T.
Eric Tapia, what's going on? Oops, what the cow back on that one. Eric T. Did I get fined for that one, Jude?
No. Eric
Sorry,
says,
Eric.
need to start an OnlyFans page, big money. Now, you left out a critical word, Simmy. Was that I need to start an OnlyFans page or you need to start an OnlyFans page? Who needs to start an OnlyFans?
Because mine's not doing too good.
None? See, that's surprising. I would have thought for
There's
sure.
you. Well, I've got my swimsuit line coming out for summer, and I was
There you
thinking about
go.
modeling it myself. Only the banana hammocks, though. The rest of the swim trunks I'm going to leave to someone else.
You can only get them in yellow also.
Diva 2. Travel Diva 2.
All right, Anthony has a question for a coworker.
Tony from HR.
Tony from HR says, what's the best small footprint Milwaukee 3/8 impact wrench? Mark, what do you think?
Is talking like it's the size of the gun? The stubby impact gun. Which one? I don't even know the part number though. I always said if I learned part numbers, I'd be dangerous.
Oh my God, I know. Because they have a 12 volt and an 18 volt.
Yeah, I would say get the 18 volt just for the
Pat CBE.
Unless you're not going to use it for much other than under the dash type work, but it's an impact, so get all the oomph you can.
Wise ass clips.
I mean, if not, go with the little screw gun that they have. If you're going to go 12 volt.
Yeah. And the stubby M12 3/8 impact's got some decent power to it. I know that turns into a go-to for a lot of people.
David Weinberg.
And Sergio just likes to learn more about how the tool selling business works. I hopefully before too much longer, I'll be able to share some news with you guys about my glove selling line end of the business.
Tony
where
from HR.
I mean, we all sell gloves. We all sell disposable nitrile gloves. And if everything that I'm working on falls through and I don't have any falls into place, rather, Freudian slip,
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to think that it won't. It's just if a new supplier I have turns out to be a good, reliable supplier, then I am going to become mostly a glove salesman. And I'm
Is
fine.
he going to sell more gloves than Trojan? I mean, he's going to sell more rubbers than Trojan.
So, as this progresses, I'll keep people up to date, but there's going to be really cool business side stuff.
Dickinson.
There's going to be really cool business side stuff to share with everybody, not only from the back end on finding the suppliers and working relationship with them, but also the front end is how did I get the agreements that I'm putting in place now?
Frederick.
And all the work that went into that and continues to go into that because it's currently still evolving. So it could be hopefully a lot of business for me just in glove sales because of how I'm approaching it. And sometimes it just takes time.
If you see your name, let me know.
You're going to have like basically you're selling to like a truck shop, repair shop, and you're just supplying their gloves.
Corporate
you go right to the corporation or whatever.
Yeah. So waste management, for example.
Waste management.
Right. Waste Connections. These are large organizations. Capital Metro. Yeah, these are big organizations.
Yeah, so you're bringing in a pallet full of gloves and saying I'll see you in a month.
Exactly. And everyone that I've just mentioned has already agreed in principle to this. I already have a current agreement with Waste Connections that I'm currently selling them gloves. I'll be able to drop their prices even more.
Yeah, that goes back to what we were saying before. Now you're doing volume.
Yeah, and that's where it's all about, right? Because I can, when I was bidding out certain jobs, I'm just, I don't always have the benefit of knowing what they're currently paying because some have a closed bid process and they can't disclose that, but other companies can. And when they can disclose it, it's very useful information because I know, how low do I have to go to earn the business, and can I still make some money at it? So, right now, the future is very bright for glove sales if my supplier, proves to be a good, reliable supplier. And I'll be sharing tons of stuff on that because I think it's probably one of the more interesting things because I've learned a lot so far and still learning a lot about it. It's just dealing with different suppliers, setting up different sales channels, retail channels rather for me than just dealing with the individual technician or the small shop. Now we're dealing with government organizations and corporations, whereas before we just weren't dealing at that scale. So things are going to change that way.
Now you still keep running the truck, or are you going to try to be the sausage king of the world, or
I'll still be running the truck. or this, especially when, well, I mean, while we're on the subject of talking this business related stuff, there's certain shops that I would never ever not want to service. I would never want to not service. Does that make sense? There's shops I always want to be able to go to. So I can't see myself not servicing certain shops for any reason. And one of them, Capital Metro and Waste Management and Waste Connections, and people that I like and my friends like Cass and his shop, and Dripping Diesel, which is owned by the guy who won our Snap-on Toolbox giveaway last year. And these are just terrific guys who run great shops, who are good friends, who I am honored to serve and want to keep doing that no matter what. But being able to so significantly increase your business in one area gives you options, right? Maybe I can kind of ratchet it back in some areas and spend some more time focusing on these new areas and kind of relieve some burden, from me today on my current schedule. So we'll see how it all goes. But these are just kind of the thoughts that just go around in your mind. And Eric asks, I tried the Orange Glove Works with the Goosebumps. I love them. Are your gloves going to be similar? Yes, Eric, they're going to be identical. These are the gloves that I will be selling in high quantity now. And this is, although it's not the same glove from the same factory, the GloveWorks gloves come from a manufacturer in Malaysia. The ones I'm ordering, these here, come from a manufacturer in China. And these are the same, though, 8 mil thick orange diamond grip gloves. And they're the ones that I'll be selling. And I bought a sample pack already from the company, and it's what I've been handing out to customers to see what their take is. So far, everybody likes they like the quality, they like the fitment, and everyone I've showed them to says yes, they'd be happy to buy them. So. And Travel Diva 2 says I look for full transparency in companies I deal with. I agree. There's very few secrets. Me telling you this stuff doesn't hurt my business at all. It may not help it, but it doesn't hurt it. And why not share the knowledge? It might help somebody out in the process.
No, there's it's funny how there's people out there but they will not share information.
I don't get that.
Because they're afraid of competition. They're afraid that you might do it better than them.
Yeah.
Now that you told me your glove thing, I'm going to do the glove thing and put you out of business. I'm going to call all the Texas guys down there.
You're like, it's Mark from Jersey.
50 cents less.
Mark from Jersey. I'm the rubber king of the Northeast.
Yeah.
I got your rubbers covered. You need rubbers. I got rubbers.
Chicken, you'll see the chicken thing, do a commercial with it.
Yeah, can this fit over my head? Yeah. I don't know if I can stretch it that much.
You might need an X large.
Double X. But I agree with you. I never understood the value in hoarding information. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's nothing that you can, if that person doesn't want to tell you, somebody else will. Sooner or later, you'll find the answers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, yes, there's secrets in the business, and I want to know what they are because I know I felt this way for years. There's better ways to do business than how I'm doing them. There's more efficient ways. There's less expensive ways. There's ways to make more profit, and I just have to find out what those are. And it just takes some persistence. You got to keep asking people. Someone's going to tell you eventually,
Just like watching YouTube, when I watch your channel, I'll see you pull something out and like, hey, I got this new. I'll be like, where the hell did you get that from?
Yeah, it's sometimes just a bunch of phone calls, emails.
I'm hitting pause. I'm blowing up the picture. I'm getting the part number off it.
mean, you do what you got to do.
You know, I'm yelling at the screen, move your thumb. You know.
God damn it, Lindsay! Stop fat fingering this thing and get this part number out so I can see it.
But I mean,
Mark's like, here, hold on a second. I got to check my catalog, and he pulls up YouTube, and he's like, shit. Ah. Yeah, I got it. We're good.
And that happens to me all the time when guys are selling. Like I was saying before, with the online guys are selling. You know, technically, a little bit, they are working for me because my customers see it, and then they come to me and they say, "I need this." Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you know, I might not get it for that price. They're like, "I don't care."
Right.
I'm like, okay. Thank you.
Should you check out?
Or if they say, "Can you get it for this price?" Well, yeah. If you're going to pay for that way, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had to find over the years different ways of doing things that I thought would yield the best result. Come to find they don't necessarily. For example, I called Sunex years ago and I said, "Can I buy direct from you?" And they said, "Yeah." They said, "Who do you buy from now?" And I said, "You know, from either Medco or ISN or one of these distributors." They said, "You can." They said, "But the pricing is going to be the same."
Yeah.
You know, because they don't want to undercut their distribution channel. And I get that.
Yeah.
So that means there's no advantage to doing it that way. So I might as well stick with the advantages that I have buying stuff through our distributors. But there are some companies that can offer you a discount. Okay, then it makes more sense to do it that way. So it's really, and some of the stuff is just trial and error. Like I signed up for an account with Cobra Tech to buy their out the front spring-loaded knives. And the pricing's very good. They build on a nice margin. I can also buy some of their products through one of my firearms distributors, but they don't have access to the full product catalog. So if I buy direct from Cobra Tech, I have access to the full catalog. The problem is Cobra Tech takes forever to fulfill an order. I'm going on 3 weeks for the last order I put into them, and they haven't shipped it yet. You know, I send them, you know, inquiries. Hey, is there a status change on this? Like, no, not yet. Hang tight. We'll get it. Well, it's tough to do business like that. Yeah. If I put it in with a firearms distributor, it's shipping the next day, but I don't have access to everything. So, you know, there's these, you know, what do I choose? You know, do I choose fast, reliable shipping? Do I choose the full catalog and, you know, wait and have to babysit it and kind of needle them? And, you know, I mean, just the choices you make.
What's going on, Boo?
Boo's here, Cajun Coin Hunter. Nice to see you, sir. Jonathan Sherwood is here. Does that mean everyone in chat gets free sample rubbers? I've got one.
They're ribbed for her pleasure.
Oh, hey.
Or his.
We can cut this up to 52 ways. Turn your head and cough.
It's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to go get that done here pretty quick.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I think I got a little extra friend on me now here.
No, you got to go see Dr. Jellyfinger.
Yeah. No, it feels like I got stabbed in the. No, I do that myself.
Hey.
Yep, it's good. Checked it myself last night, Doc.
Yeah, no, my prostate is clean.
Yeah. Yeah. When I say I meant this, when I say 2, better make it 3. You seen how big my fingers are?
It's the top of the hour. Why don't you get the rules out real quick?
Good thinking. Thank you. All right. For everyone who is in the chat currently, hello. You have been entered into the drawing because you're in the chat. And that's the only criteria for entering the drawing. In about 11 minutes from now at 10:15 Central Time, we're going to draw a name that Cass is keeping. And when we draw the name, you'll have 60 seconds to give us the high sign that you are in the chat still, and then you will win. And if you are in fact chosen, all you have to do is shoot me an email at lindsay@coiltools.com and give me your contact information. Let me know who you are. And in a couple of weeks, once we have all the prizes that are being donated for the tool bags, then we'll ship them out. So just be patient after you win, and we'll get stuff rolling in a couple of weeks. The prize is a nylon tool tote with a variety of tools in them that you'll get absolutely free. We will ship it to you anywhere in the contiguous 48 United States. That's pretty much it. Cass is keeping a tally of all the names right now. And if anyone who's just coming in, you're getting added to the list.
And there's the bonus.
There is
yes. If you win tonight and you are subscribed to my page, I will throw something else in.
That's right. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hop on over to Mid-Atlantic Tools and subscribe to his channel. And if you win, you get a bonus.
Get a bonus.
Yeah. Very nice.
So we got Justin Chang joining us. We got
Justin Chang, hello.
Joining us. And we have Daniel joining us. I got all y'all in there. I've gotten everybody in here. I've gone back and checked twice. So, so Daniel, far, so good. Anthony GM85 with a $5 holler.
Look at that, Anthony. Thank you so much.
Did I do good, Boo? Boo, did I do good? Was that Boo quality?
That was
close enough, hopefully. Hopefully close enough.
And Boo does it by text.
So I don't know how many of you guys know this.
Types faster than I talk.
I don't know how many of you know this, but how I run my route is a lot different from most tool guys. And what I do is I actually have 2 routes in one truck, and I go every other week. So one week I'm in one part of Jersey, and I'm in the other part of Jersey. And I always, we were always told, especially if you came from a franchise, how important it is to go every week. Well, if you're an independent, it's not that important. Just so you know. And if you think about starting this business, it might be a way to think about doing things. Because I can increase all the people I see. In that, because now I have 2 routes. So I have a lot more people that I see. And it's funny how many times I go in 2 weeks later and the guy says, "Weren't you just here yesterday?"
Time flies.
Yep.
Now, that's an interesting point that you bring up about getting into the business, because it's something that I see regularly from viewers as a question about getting into the business, or sometimes I have a conversation with a customer about it. I just had the same conversation Monday with a customer who said that he was thinking of, or he had relatives who were thinking about buying a tool truck and then leasing it out to somebody to operate it for them. And, he asked what I thought. And, if you're just getting into the business, like you said earlier, Mark, if you're a franchise guy to start off with, you have an advantage because the business isn't complicated, but you need somebody to show you how it runs. You need someone to show you the game. You need to learn the rules. You need to understand how the whole flow works. And unless someone shows that to you, it's a tough learning curve.
And for a small fee, I will come to you.
Right. I mean, offering training can be very valuable to guys who have been around the block and have a good business up and running. There's no one better to learn from. To the point where I had a conversation. Somebody suggested to me, he said, "Why don't you do shoot a video series that has like course modules and offer up it as a masterclass, charge, per module or whatever, or all access subscription, and have it online."
Because when they fail, they'll sue you for not telling them something. And that's why you don't do it.
There's always that risk. Well, East Coast Ken asks, "What's your average route mileage?" What do you think yours is, Mark?
One route's 425, we'll say 420, give or take, and the other route is 230.
Yeah, I think my weekly route's about 400 to 500 miles. I'm a little spread out.
Yeah. So
mine's probably a little bit longer than your average route.
Yeah. When I tell the 420, it's spread out compared to my 200. It's just like a big circle around my house.
Okay.
Yeah. Where the other one, if you look at a map and you look at Jersey, and that tip that's hanging down there at the bottom of Jersey, that's me. That whole tip of Jersey, the little point.
Oh.
So when you see Cape May, Wildwood, Ocean City, that's all me. Running right down to the bottom of Jersey. And I'm surrounded by water. I'm on the peninsula. That's it.
So you're okay.
See where it cuts in on the left side, the water comes in. Draw a straight line right across. Yep.
Okay.
So that whole that's everything just about there. Yeah.
Yeah, just to give you the right perspective, like if we zoom that out, you can see, there's the rest of Jersey outlined in red. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So if you zoom back in, let's see if you can zoom in a little bit. Okay, go to the right. Go. All right, go. See the yellow line?
Yeah, the Parkway?
Yeah, the Parkway.
Yep.
Okay, head north. Head a little bit north on it. All right, there should be another yellow line Xing it right across it. That's roughly where I live.
Okay.
So
By Pleasantville?
Yeah, absolutely north of that. Absecon.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm roughly right around there, right where those things cross.
Okay.
So that's why it's 400 miles. Now my other route is right around me.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it goes roughly up to 72 if you head north. But I don't do like Atlantic City. I do like on the outskirts. So
okay.
But yeah, that's why one route's a lot more mileage because I'm driving all the way down to that point.
And that's a big advantage to being an independent guy is that you can define your territory however you want.
Yes.
And there's a huge benefit to that because one of the reasons why my route takes me all over the place is because I will make the trip to go to these outlying shops that are these larger corporate shops where there's a ton of business. So it's worth it for me to drive 45 minutes of windshield time to get to the shop where I'm going to do, sometimes 1,000 or two in just a couple hours. It's worth it. So yeah, you make the time to do it. And it's nice to be able to pick and choose because that to me is a big advantage.
Dave just said AC is brutal. Nah, it's not really that bad. I just don't feel like driving a truck in the city.
You have 1 minute if you haven't heard your name to get your name in. 1 minute. 1 minute warning. Because at 10:15, you're off.
Yeah, there's not the Pat's like, and it's true. There's just a lot of small little shops in AC, and it's not, to me, it's not worth the trouble.
When he's talking about AC, I'm thinking like air conditioning because it was
well,
hot today.
Either Atlantic City or air conditioning. Oh, down in Texas, we're just entering the first of a protracted heat wave coming up this week and next. And Daniel asks, have you ever had a tool truck not running AC to save money? No, not to save money, but I have turned it off to get people out of the truck.
I'll tell you a short story real quick. Hot summer day. Mostly the whole shop is in my truck. It's probably a 5-6 man shop. They're on my truck, and it's hot, and they're taking their time. And all of a sudden, here comes the manager, and he pops his head in. Manager / owner pops his head in. Everybody get off. And he says, "I don't want to see this again." I said, "Not a problem. I'll take care of it." Following week, still summertime, still hot as can be. Manager comes out, hops on the truck. He's the first one on the truck. He's looking around, and I'm watching him. He starts sweating. And he says, "What happened? Your air conditioner broke?" I said, "Do you see your guys on my truck?" He goes, "Well, I'm out here. You can turn it on." I said, "No."
No. Well, I did do the same thing. I used to go to this one shop at around 4:00 in the afternoon, and
they're tired and hot.
Yes, and it was my third to last shop. But there's guys that would not leave the truck because they just want to ride out the shift. They told me this. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
well, now that I know, flip.
Yeah.
You know, I pull in there. It's hot enough. I'm like, come on, go. I still got 2 more shops to go to.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I don't want to hang out with the guys, but I still got business to do.
I told them if they don't get off the truck, I've told guys before, if you don't get off the truck, you're going to be at the next stop. So
That's
you want to
like-
walk back.
It's my not too subtle joke when I say, hey, you want to hang out and come with me in the next shop? You know, let's go. But some guys just don't get it. I'm like, I have to go.
Yeah, I just, like, here's the great thing about where we are is, you don't work, you don't get paid. So
Right.
it's pretty easy. If you want to stand around and hold your wrench, okay.
You go right ahead.
I don't have to worry
Well,
about
folks,
that, guys.
it's 10:15. It is time for the drawing for this
Drum roll.
week's
Drum roll.
mystery tool bag giveaway. So I will turn it over to Cass, and he will do the drawing.
We're here in the
Once he
bucket of
picks
doom,
a
so I
name-
can show you. There's all the names in there in the bucket of doom, right? And just stir in the pot, stir in the pot. Oh, on the fourth one. Stir the pot, stir the pot. Who's gonna win tonight? Who's gonna win? Call your shot. Call your shot.
Let's see if the winner you pick is still in the chat. Once Cass reads the name, the 60-second clock starts ticking.
Tick tock, your name's on the clock. All right, here we go. I got it way up here. I have no idea who I'm picking here. Pick apart. Here we go. And the winner is, drum roll, please. I haven't even looked yet. I don't know. I have no clue. Y'all tell me who wins. Dads, Speed and Custom. Dads, you have 1 minute.
Starting now, 58
Starting
seconds left. Give us the high sign in the chat that you're still here, Dads.
What if he didn't know the high sign? Is he screwed? What if he
I
just
don't
says,
know.
I'm
Maybe
here?
give us a low sign. Any
Oh,
sign.
low sign. Any sign. Well,
Any
let's not
sign. We'll take
congratulate
any
Dads.
sign.
Last
Any
week
sign
we
of
had
life.
mini
We'll take an emoji of poo. It doesn't matter what it is. As,
sign of life.
as long as
How
you
many
tell
get-
me.
Oh,
Hey,
he's
there he is.
there! All right.
Congratulations. Oh, he made it with 30 seconds to spare. Wow.
Dad's Speed and Custom. He did it with speed, all right? He did it with speed.
speed.
Did it with
So,
speed.
Dad, do me a favor. Send me an email at lindsay@coiltools.com. Give me your name and contact information, and give me a few weeks to get all the rest of the tools gathered up and put in the bags, and then we'll send one out. So shoot me that email.
Dads,
Make sure
are
you
you,
subscribe
I,
to
hope
me. I'll
you're
send you a
I
bonus.
hope you're a subscriber of Mark from Mid-Atlantic Tools.
Yeah, because he'll give you a
Hope you're
bonus if you are.
subscriber.
Excellent.
Hey, they got Dave there. Dave, what are you? Were you a tool guy in Atlantic City? I saw something he said that he had crackheads stealing stuff off his truck. So I guess he was a tool guy in Atlantic City.
Oh, man.
Well, man, I forgot that I totally botched on this thing. On my end of the deal. I'm a little tired, but gotta give a shout out to all our service members, past and present. Thank you very much. Couldn't do what we do every day without what y'all have done for us. So thank you from all of us to all of you. And then secondly, to all the dads out there, thanks for being awesome. I'm gonna call my dad up here. I'm gonna go meet up with him. I got a little something special for my dad. I can't wait to see him. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Very nice. Thank you.
Dave was a mechanic. He's a mechanic in AC.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting some.
Can you believe we're already halfway through, Lindsay?
I know, it's unreal.
Through the month of giving.
In the month of giving.
It's
So
roll along, Dad, Speed and Custom along the bottom there. Congratulations.
Ooh, we're even getting
The only
fancy
thing-
now.
I know.
So I'm going to be a little late on our final stream.
Okay.
So I'll have to require some help. Somebody's going to have to cover for me a little bit. But I will be there. I'm going to be a little late. I have a special guest with me that night as well.
Oh, very nice. Live with you.
What's that?
Is the guest going to be live with you?
Could be.
Oh, some intrigue. Yeah, we got some more special guests lined up for the remaining 2 drawings for next Friday and then Friday after. So it'll be
Any
fun.
hints?
One of them is a rival tool guy that I'm going to have to duke it out with for tool truck supremacy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Yeah. Actually, last week was a rival tool guy I have to duke it out with too. Actually, the joke's on him because last week's guest was Kyle Jones from Mac Tools, who took over my route when I left.
Yeah.
I stuck with
Lindsay said it all. Hey, look, you did a good enough job. At least he didn't get run off everywhere he went.
Oh my God! And no, there's guys that have been. Yeah, no, and he's making it work for him. I mean, he's a good guy. People like him.
Matthew, the bingo spinner sucked so bad that we had to retire it. It's sitting next to me though. I do have the bingo spinner, but like I was spinning and the names would fly out. It's almost like last man standing here. I was like just spinning the names out. I was spitting them out like lyrics.
Looked like he was in a snow globe raining down around him.
Oh, don't give away my secret. All right, don't give away my secret. All right, can I give away my secret?
Sure.
I'm gonna construct a human snow globe for Christmas this year.
Oh,
I've already told you this.
So whatever questions you got before we run off.
Yeah, before Mark's got to go to bed at some point. It's like 4:00 in the morning.
Well,
in Jersey
I'm off, Mars. I'm good. I usually just fall asleep.
Man, I am beat right now, but I'm hanging in there. I've pumped myself full of monster.
Bless you. Well, man. Earlier today, I took my truck into Casa shop and said, "You deal with it," because the AC in the back crapped out, so he's got to look at that. So, aside with everything else that he's doing and his regular workload, plus the fact that he was working solo in the shop because Robert, who works with him, was on vacation this week. You've had a lot to do, and the heat's been kind of tough, so it just drains it out of you.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be hot next week when Robert comes back. I'm sure that wearing off that vacation is going to suck. He's going to be on the struggle bus. You know what? I'm going to be sitting there in the front going, he's going to be struggling.
It makes up for this week. Oh, there is one more question. JWC
tech broken?
What's that?
Your back AC's broken, or
yeah. And they're up because they're upfitted trucks. It's not, they don't use the high quality components for the stuff. So I don't know what's wrong with it yet, but I just left it with Cass for his expertise, and we'll see what he says. But there is one more question from JWC.
Passing that one off to Robert.
Oh, give it to Robert. Thoughts on the Milwaukee tap and die sets? Mark, do you have any? I don't, because I'm not familiar with them.
Gear wrench.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never seen the Milwaukee ones. I couldn't say the first thing about them.
They're new. They were at the show.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Milwaukee's they're doing wrenches now. They're doing sockets. They're doing tap and dies. They're just expanding. They're just getting into the tool industry more and more and more. And I'm sure it's a quality brand because, like everything else they make it's a good tool. I'm sure you can't go wrong buying it. I guess the hardest part would be, do they have replacement pieces for it?
That's usually the biggest question.
And that there would be a reason why I probably won't carry a lot on my truck like that, because how many, you only have so much room in a truck.
Right.
And as much as I would like to carry a lot of different other brands, I also have to carry the extra wrenches, the extra sockets for the guys that break or lose or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it all takes up room,
It does. And, it's one of those things that is like when people ask, do I or would I carry Tecton or Capri or these other brands that they like?
Yes, I would love to.
Sure. If A, I need room. B, they need to make it compelling for me to carry it, because I already have good success carrying other brands. So they would have to offer something the other brands don't in order for me to make that work. If it's going to be just another line that I put next to the Gear Wrench, Sunex, and Milwaukee stuff, then no, I'm not going to carry it.
Yeah.
Because along with taking on a brand comes a whole supply chain and logistics piece that you need to put in place to manage that if they don't sell through my regular distributor. And they don't. That's why it would be very easy for Mark and myself to take on Top Don, for example, because they already sell through one of our distributors. So it's just as easy for us to buy their stuff as it is for anything else, especially if they have a compelling deal. Like they've got a feature set these other guys don't have, or their prices are particularly good or whatever it is. Okay, now it makes sense to bring that in. But where now I'm doing a one-off, I'm dealing with just Tecton or just Capri or whatever.
And if you think about it, there's no small parts to it.
No.
And that's a big part of the whole thing.
Yes.
I mean, I have Vim on my truck, but I don't have Vim sockets.
Right.
I'll get Vim sockets for guys, but if I start carrying the Vim sockets, now I got to get all the little replacement sockets to have handy.
Yep.
And that's what makes it tough. I usually stick with Gear Wrench for my chrome sockets, Gray Pneumatic for my impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Gear Wrench for my ratchets, screwdrivers, and then I have some Vim ratchets because there's not much to replace it. It's not hard to replace. It's not like a bunch of little pieces.
Well, that's the thing that is often overlooked that goes into the back end of planning. If I can, I think you mentioned earlier about a company having open stock available. If I can't replace the individual piece easily enough, or if they don't allow me just to replace an entire set or kit, then no, I won't carry it, because such a large part of what we do is warranty. And that, to me, more than any single component, maybe no, or arguably anyway, more than any single component of a brand or its products, what defines whether or not something's professional grade or not is the ease of which I can fulfill a warranty claim. If I can't just hand you a new one to replace your broken one, it's not easy to deal with. And if they make it difficult to do, is it really pro grade then? Because a professional demands that kind of service, and they should get it. And if I can't provide that, I don't want to touch the brand.
AG has a question there.
Will you carry Japanese tools like Koken or Vessel? Well, the answer is yes. Currently, Mark, you do carry Koken.
Yes, I do.
And we both carry Vessel. The reason
why
I
don't.
Oh, you don't? Well, you have access to the brand.
I have access to it, but I do not carry it on the truck.
Okay. I don't carry it on the truck.
I have so much. Yes, I have access to both of those.
Yeah.
The Koken is on the truck. It's in stock. The ratchets are in stock. I have some sockets because they're not. There's not many of them that I carry. I usually carry. I think they're called Z series, very very shallow, and then they have another set that has the detent ball.
Yeah.
So I carry those. So because they're a little bit special, you can't get them in Gear Wrench, the little detent balls. So I carry that, and then the Koken ratchets. They're a little on the higher side of pricing, and they have a great quality to them. So I carry them just for the guys that feel they want that little bit extra of. They want to drive the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Koken is available to us through a distributor called Mobile Tool Network. Mark is a customer of theirs. I am not. It's only because the only reason I'm not is because I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to buying anything from them yet. I'm a big customer of ISN, for example. They're my biggest supplier. They sell Vessel. In fact, I have some Vessel stuff on order for a customer.
And Vessel was at the tool show.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it really depends on both a lot of the individual preference and the ease of gaining access to a company's product line. If a distributor carries it and we do business with the distributor, it's very easy for us to get their stuff on the truck or at least order it when we need to. If it's not available through a distributor, like Tecton, for example, it's very difficult and requires the same level of effort to buy from one singular company as it does from a distributor, which has lots of different brands. So unless we know that we can make that well worth the time and the effort, it's not worth the time and the effort. So, but Koken and Vessel are both available through our distributors. And Joe Mama says it's like purchasing drill bit sets from the box stores. You break one and you're done, generally speaking. Because they don't deal a lot of times with open stock. So
Yes.
you can't just buy that one broken piece, or they can't just swap the one broken piece. So what some stores do is they'll say, yeah, bring us the entire thing back and we'll swap out the entire thing. And you say, well, I don't have the entire thing. I lost, a couple of pieces. They say, sorry, you're out of luck then. So it kind of leaves you high and dry in a situation like that. And then lots of other brands do sell individual drill bits. You're correct, Sergio.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of making sure you're dealing with just those brands so that you're not kind of stuck with it.
Yeah. So.
And Ken asks, what's your number one replaced hand tool? Actual tools, not flashlights or anything like that. Mark, what do you got?
Probably using a screwdriver as a pry bar.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good one.
Sockets, all sockets break.
Yeah.
If he's, of course, because there's so many sockets, everybody breaks them sooner or later. 17 millimeter, anything to do with wheels, after a while they just crack. But I don't know. The most I usually send back is probably most stuff. Usually in my warranty bin is sockets. After that, probably some ratchets.
I got my brokens going back right here. Hold on. Here's they're all taped together. Here's a whole pile of broken extensions, wrenches.
Yeah.
This is typical.
Yeah. Wrenches, sockets, ratchets,
and bit sockets like the Torx.
Yeah, so the little tiny.
Yeah, those always.
Because there's nothing out there that doesn't break sooner or later.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'm surprised how few ratchet repairs I do. I don't have to repair them very often, so they tend to last pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's mostly things like, especially the ratcheting wrenches, because the ratcheting box ends will break.
That's true. Yeah, I would probably. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, after I would say sockets and ratcheting wrenches are probably my number one things. Because if you can't break it loose, they put the cheater bar on it and they break it loose.
Yep. And Dad's Speed and Custom says he loves the Vessel drivers. Yep. Anthony likes the composite grip. Yeah, they have that wood-like composite that they're using on their grips now. Yeah, Jake Sheff makes a good point. Most common drill bits are available at box stores for sale individually, but definitely when it comes to using a tap and die set for a specific size, you'll need lettered and numbered drill bit sets. And those are less common than the regular fractional drill bit sizes. So if you find a good supplier for them, keep them. Pat handles a lot of 8 millimeter deep chrome sockets. Yeah.
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 10s, if they don't lose them.
10s get lost, 13s break.
Yeah.
Joe Mama asks, you've heard Bosch offers a lifetime warranty on drill bits at Lowe's, yet he couldn't find anyone with any knowledge or experience. I have not heard that. Have you?
I've never heard that either.
Let me look real quick to see if I can. Let me see what I can find real quick here.
Now, Lindsay, do you carry any drill bits with a lifetime warranty?
Nope. Well, Irwin puts a warranty. Irwin is like Matco. They put a warranty on everything larger than 1/4 inch. But the bits I sell mostly are the can cut bits.
Yeah, and they don't have a warranty.
They don't. The only ones I know of that put a lifetime warranty on every size is Mac. And Mac makes an excellent bit. The difference there is and it's the same thing with carbide burrs. Like you can spend 4 times less on an Astro set of carbide burrs that don't have a warranty. I mean, the 8-piece carbide burr set from Astro costs half of what 4 pieces cost, off the Matco or Mac trucks. The difference there really is you're just paying for your brokens in advance. And if you are careful with using your tools and you use them the way they're designed to be used, you'll minimize your breakage. You won't eliminate it, but you will minimize it. And you can save yourself a bunch of money over the long term. But yeah, I don't see anything through I was just looking on my
I never heard of that.
distributor's website about Bosch bits. I don't see anything about them, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And Shannon says, been waiting for a Snap-on socket for almost a month. When their stuff is on back order,
It's on back order.
yeah, you can be waiting. I've had a hammer out with Snap-on now for, I want to say 9 months. And I talked with them about it just last week. And they said they've had production issues. Some of the machinery that was producing their hammers broke down, and it has taken them a protracted period of time to repair it. But they said it's sitting here waiting. So, as soon as they come back in, they'll ship it. They're very good about tracking orders. I have to give them credit there.
Nowadays, you can never tell what's going to go on back order for how long.
Oh God, that's
It could be the strangest thing, and also it's gone.
I know it's the great crapshoot of our time is what's on back order now.
Yeah. It's so funny. Be like, oh, I'll have that next week. That's no problem. I always see them. That's the week that they all go on back order. Where I got to the point now where if I see something, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to order all of them.
What were you saying, Cass?
That's one of those. Oh, by the way, you know how I told you I could get this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are very few things that feel worse than that to me.
Yes.
One thing you'd like to be able to do is stand by what you say. And I hate being proven wrong with something that I thought was true. And maybe you jump the gun without verifying.
Like
you say, oh, yeah, I can get it for you.
Like
Realize
baseball.
Yeah.
This is like a baseball. All that is warning track power.
Yep. Exactly right. Jonathan says, it reminds me of when I waited for a Snap-on battery warranty 2 months. For 2 months, and I found out it missed a cutoff date, so I had to buy the battery. That is a bummer. Ouch. Yeah, that's a rough one.
That Snap-on guy, he would be kind of embarrassed by the time he left because I would have given him the what for.
Well, you would deserve it. I mean, if you drag your heels on taking care of a warranty and then it works to your customer's detriment,
you got to find a guy you're giving him a tool.
Exactly.
He would have never ever known that it was out of warranty. Or I would have told him like, hey, it was out of warranty, but I took care of it because you're only out of warranty by 2 months.
Yeah,
and I drug my feet getting it.
A lot of times you can make warranties work.
You can.
And I've one things I've always done since I was a tool dealer is I always try to get the guy a warranty, even say it was out of warranty or whatever it might be. I always try to give him another tool, even if I have to order a whole set to pull something out, to give him a tool to take the customer out of the equation. And then I argue with whoever I need to argue with to get my stuff covered.
Yep.
But I'm not going to sit there and let the customer wait and say, oh, well, yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from them. Yeah.
No, I've had issues in the past with, when Snap-on hit their production issues with drill bits and taps and things like that, and people would break stuff, and maybe they don't have a Snap-on guy. They ask me if I can help them. I'm like, well, yes, I can. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy you a replacement of a different brand and give it to you for free. Mm-hmm. That's yours to keep forever and ever and ever. And then if and when this ever gets resolved with their supply issues, then we can get that taken care of. But in the meantime, here, on me, here's a new 1024 tap. You're welcome. And, just take care of it that way. For the cost of the tap, which is only a few dollars, I'll give it to you. And it's worth it to me to maintain a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What's a few dollars is nothing. You spend less than the cost of a tap for, lunch somewhere. It's not a big deal. So I'm happy to do that where I can. Yeah, I mean, just Stuart Moore and Kevin Avery are all having back order issues, and this stuff just drags on and on and on.
Well, Sergio, you got to get new. What the housing of the batteries broken? I take it that's what it is. New plastic for some.
Now, here's something interesting about Milwaukee warranties. One common problem is what you're experiencing, Sergio. Another common problem that I know Cass has experienced on their M18 batteries is where the screws go through the cover into the rest of the housing. The threads will break off, and then the case separates. And depending on who you ask, will determine who takes care of that warranty. If I send those batteries to Milwaukee, they'll push back and they'll say it's not covered. However, one of their authorized service centers that we deal with for a lot of our power tool repairs will replace them under warranty. So I got to pick and choose who am I sending stuff to. Yes, this stuff will go to Milwaukee because I know it won't be an issue, and this stuff will go to Power Tool Repair in Ohio because I know they can handle it easily. So one of the things that you look for too is who knows what in this business and who can point in the right direction. So Sergio, you might want to look at Power Tool Repair. That's the name of the company. Go to powertoolrepair.com is their website. And if you've got your proof of purchase, then they will take care of stuff like that for you under warranty. You can try.
Even if he doesn't have his proof of purchase, if you can read the serial numbers on the bottom of the battery.
Yeah, there's a manufacturer date code in the serial number. And if you don't have a proof of purchase, they'll go by whatever the date code is in that serial number. And if the manufacturer date is within the warranty period, they'll still cover it.
I have a video on that.
So head on over to Mid-Atlantic Tools.
I got a video on that one. It's really easy to do.
Yep. All right. Anyone else have any other questions for Mark or Cass or for me or anyone in the chat? And Cass, do you have anything you'd like to chime in with or ask Mark or questions?
No, I wish I wasn't so tired. I wish I had better questions to ask Mark. But I'm glad that Lindsay took over on that one. But I really like having Mark on. Mark's a lot of fun to have on. And it's good to have another independent dealer on because, he's not trying to sell some like schmoozy, franchise deal like, oh, let me tell you about Mac, or let me tell you about Matco, or let me tell you about Snap-on. He's just he just likes hanging out, and it's fun to have him on. I like to be on with him more often. So, and I'm glad you're back to making videos too.
Yeah.
How are the knees doing? Are they doing good?
It bends, so it's good.
Good.
It's good to be back at work. Good.
Well, I walked
Are you happy for the warm weather now?
I was at the tool show for 2 days, and I walked all 2 days, and
nice.
It never bothered me.
Nice.
So.
Do you have anything other than the pass-through ratchet new coming out that you want to talk about, or you want to peek for your channel or anything?
No. There wasn't really much that was like super new, that was like, a game changer for, it was, like I said, Milwaukee probably had the Top Down was actually one that really impressed me. I liked their new scanners, and I like talking to the guys. It was really nice.
Did you buy any of those Sunex carts with the skull graphics on them?
No, I did not.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm in the middle of getting rid of my toolbox holes in my truck. I'm putting shelves in.
Nice.
I got to fill it.
Yep.
So, I got things on the floor and I can't stand it. And I can fit 2 more shelves there, and I want a 20-foot inventory and an 18-foot truck. So,
that's a great approach to it. I'm leaving my toolbox holes for my glove shipments when they come in.
yeah, yep,
You need the space. Yeah, and
so,
for guys like us that don't trade on selling toolboxes, man, it makes all the sense in the world.
even when I was a franchise, I never pushed toolboxes. To me, a toolbox was a bonus sale. There was no toolboxes, and when you're a franchise, they always toolbox, sell extended credit, blah 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 blah. I come to find out that they want the extended credit because they want the interest.
Oh yeah,
You're collecting on that guy's. You're collecting on it for however long it takes them to pay off, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it might be. That money that's going for that toolbox, the money that you made on that toolbox, that's gone within the first 2 weeks after you get paid. If you buy inventory or whatever.
Yep.
So then for the next 3 years or 4 years, you're just collecting money and handing it to to pay for the toolbox, handing it over. You're just a middleman. So I always find that, truck payments, that's the way to go. If you're going to stay alive in this business, it's truck payments every week. And if you have a strong truck payment, you'll be fine. I mean, if you really think about it, I stopped working in January 20th for my knee replacement. And I went back 10 weeks later. I didn't sell a tool during that time. So that's a lie. I did sell a couple tools. People called. I had them sent out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a normal day.
Right. And you were able to realize the revenue during that time
Yeah.
anyway. And that is a real upside to this business model, is that give or take, every week what to expect for revenue coming in. Sometimes you have great weeks, sometimes the weeks are not that great, but you always know within a certain bracket what can I expect for money coming in.
Yeah.
Wise Ass Clips asks if we've ever weighed our tool trucks.
Yeah, there's a scale I roll over once in a while. I don't know what it's at right now, but
Yeah, when mine was empty, when I first got my first truck registered, for some reason, I had to get it weighed.
yeah, when it's empty, when you first get it, when it's empty, you have to get it weighed.
So I took it to a Love's. They had a truck scale, or I think it was a Love's or whatever. I think it was 16,000 pounds. Does that sound right for an 18-footer?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Was it GMC?
Yep.
Yeah, it's under 20. I know that.
Yes, under 20.
Yeah, it's under 20. Maybe even be under 18.
I think it's rated for 19.5. I think is
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. And Dad Speed and Custom says, my son's in school to be an auto diesel tech. We have been shopping toolboxes for a year. Well, everyone's going to give you a different opinion on this one, Dads. Mark, what do you suggest for starter boxes for new techs?
The Icon.
Yep.
The cart, not the box, the cart. That's all you need.
And the U.S. General Series 3 boxes.
The full drawer. The full drawer.
Oh, the cart. Their 6-drawer cart, unbeatable.
6-drawer, yep.
$600. $600 for the 6-drawer U.S. General cart at Harbor Freight. You cannot get a better deal on a tool cart anywhere. I promise you that.
Yeah.
And their new Series 3 U.S. General boxes for a 72-inch wide box, $1,800.
Yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't really need a toolbox. I mean, I have more techs now with tool carts than boxes.
Well, let me ask Cass this, because that's a good point. I've known a lot of technicians who said if I had to do it again, I wouldn't even buy a box. I just buy multiple carts. Cass, what do you think about that idea? Because you have multiple carts and a big box.
Yeah, I would do multiple carts. That's what he needs to start with. He's not gonna have enough stuff to
well, if you really think about it, though, when you started, though, Cass, was there carts that are out like
my first toolbox was
they were they weren't that big.
And my first toolbox is smaller than my roll cart.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
they didn't have the carts
you
they
do
have
a lot
the size they have now.
And you can always add on. And the reason why I bought the toolbox I bought was I had 7 toolboxes, 7 different sets of keys. I was tired of dealing with it. So I condensed it all down and I got 3 toolboxes. And then I didn't like the color of the toolbox. So I sold them all, including a roll cart. And I bought that toolbox that I have now. And that's what I stuck with. And then I've added a roll cart. But, you know, it was just one of those things, but I didn't pay full price for it because I didn't buy it new.
Yeah.
I bought it used, which is a good deal. I would be on like the used market, especially for a new tech. I would go Facebook Marketplace, find one of the roll carts, one of the you can go get a Cornwell, a Matco,
whatever
whatever
you can find.
It doesn't matter.
At a good deal.
Yeah, just get a good deal. Start with that. Fill that thing full of tools so you can't put anything else in there.
Sure. Bust it at the seams.
Yep.
Exactly. When you hit that point, then you can go and you can start looking for a toolbox. But don't start off with a big toolbox because you're just going to be paying for a box. Spend that money on tools.
I will give you a word of caution, though, for anybody who looks at used boxes. If you find something you like and you're interested in getting a deal, be wary of the possibility that the person selling the box owes money on it and is looking just to get out from underneath his debt. Because a couple of things are happening here. One of them is it's not his box to sell if there's a lien on the box. So if he does sell it, he just did something illegal. And if you buy it, you're now possessing stolen property. So if you find something you like, note the model and the serial number on the sticker on the back of the box and call the company's credit program to see if there's still a loan on that box. If there is, walk away from the deal. If there's not, then feel free to go ahead and do it because you can get extremely good deals that way.
Yeah.
That'd be my suggestion. I bought plenty of used boxes like carts and stuff like that.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yep. So I mean, there are a lot of good options, and then even if you wanted to buy new, there's online toolbox retailers like StrictlyToolboxes.com. They sell Montezuma and Tool Vault and some other pretty good brands. Their prices are very good, so you have some options there. You just got to be diligent and look around to see who's got what.
Find what fits you best. Go there with a tape measure. Or whatever you're going to go buy, or you think you're going to buy, take a tape measure out how you want to organize your box. Because don't go and buy a box and then I'm going to do this, this, and this. And then you realize
drawers aren't deep enough.
You can't put sockets on a tray in your toolbox.
Yeah.
Take some time, some effort, go and check that out. I do that all the time. I'll walk into like Lowe's or Home Depot and I'll see like their toolboxes and I'll like meander over there. I'm just like checking it out and then I'll go snag a tape measure off the shelf and I'm just kind of like, measuring around or, I'll take my fingers and I'll measure in the box how deep. I'm like, you can't put, half-inch jar sockets on the socket.
Half-inch deep sockets.
I can't put my longest pry bar in my toolbox. Where am I going to put this thing?
Ratchets.
Yeah.
It makes a big deal. Like if I open up my top drawer and I have all my sockets in there, the box is going to be able to support the weight.
Yeah. And Jake Sheff has a suggestion too. Look at Kennedy. Kennedy, it's interesting. He says there's no name recognition, but great boxes. If you're a machinist, though, Kennedy. And Kennedy has been making toolboxes for years, and they are excellent quality. They were purchased by Cornwell not too long ago. I think about 3 or 4 years ago now. To make their boxes for them, and they're still making their own brand of boxes, I believe. But yeah, the Kennedy boxes are excellent quality. All right. Does anybody have anything else? Cass, anything?
Tune in next week where we'll have another special guest and another winner announced. You will join a very select club full of only the finest of subscribers.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you again for all your work and spearheading this whole effort and keeping track of people's names every week and choosing the winners. And it's always good to have you on. And I appreciate all that you're doing for us.
Golf
So thank
clap, golf clap.
you. Yeah, indeed. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. And Mark, anything from you, sir?
Luck chooses the winners.
Indeed, it does.
No, it was fun. It was great. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you are.
Always enjoy. I got to get you to a tool show.
Well, it's funny because whenever our distributors start promoting the tool shows, they're pretty relentless. Hey, you're going to the show, going to the show, going to the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You're probably not, and then finally one of them did an end around. Instead of talking to me, talked to my wife. And he said, hey, Kathy, you going to the show? And Kathy said, we'd rather take the money we'd spent on airfare and buy tools with it. They're like, I get it. Yeah, because they don't cover our airfare.
Tell you what, Lindsay,
what's that?
You take me to the show. We can set me loose on the show. I'll just run through there like a wild animal.
Well, I'm just not going to
tell you. I won't run, but you get the point.
I'm not going to tell you my account number.
Well, hopefully, maybe it'll have one just in Texas and you can drive over.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
They had one in Atlantic City, and I drove right over to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta, Mark. If they have one in Texas, you gotta come to it.
Oh yeah.
So we can go and throw peanuts at Lindsay the whole day.
I think the next two, one's in North Carolina. That's Medco, and then Mobile Tool Network will be in Mississippi or something like that.
Okay.
I don't
You
know.
Lindsay, Mississippi is not that far away.
It's not.
It's just an MISS, ISS, IPVIOA.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Hop,
all right,
skip,
so
it's only it's only about an 18-pack of beer with me in the car away. So
it makes a trip go by so fast.
Makes it fast.
It's so fast.
Especially when I'm driving and drinking, you know what I mean? I'm kidding. I only drink where at stoplights.
When the car's not moving.
That's a good policy.
Yeah. When the car's not moving, I drink. You know why?
And with these new cars that shut off when you come to a stop, it's not running, officer.
Right?
No key in the ignition.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap it for tonight. One last time. That's Speed and Custom. Email me at lindsay@coiltools.com with your name and contact information. Give me a couple weeks to get everything finalized on the tool bags, and yours will be sent right out shortly thereafter. So thank you to everybody in the chat for joining. It's always great fun to see your comments and talk about the topics that you bring to the fore. Reading your questions and seeing what your take is on stuff is always very valuable to all of us here on the panel. So thank you again. My special thanks to Cass from Speed Wrench. Excuse me. Trying to wrap it up and be cool here. It's not working. Try that again. My special thanks to Cass from Speed Wrench and Mark from Mid-Atlantic Tools. If you haven't, please do check out both their channels and subscribe and see the content that they're putting out now. Real good stuff from both of them come out recently, especially. So see all the new stuff that they've got coming down the line. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It's always fun to see the channel grow, and it's great to see more people jump on board and join us for these weekly live streams. So we'll do it again next Friday, 9:00 Central Time. The rules will be the same, and we will see you all then. So everyone, have a good night.
All right, everyone.